it's all about where you want to be. And I think if you're hungry enough and if you want to build a great clientele and show people that you genuinely care, it's there. It's there for you. It's not easy, but it's there for you.
That's amazing. There's so much that you... Hey guys, Brian Smith here. We are back on the Entrepreneur Blueprint, and today I have a special guest with me, top producing agent, my friend Marcy Navejar is here in the building.
Yes,
Marcy,
thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Excited.
Hey man, thank you so much for agreeing to come.
Of course.
And Marcy, you and I go way back.
Yeah.
We go way back. We've done a lot of inspections on a lot of properties.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why we thought about you to come on, honestly, we really admire the growth and success of your career path. I mean, you've taken no shortcuts, and I just got a lot of respect for the hustle.
Appreciate it.
No
I
doubt.
appreciate it.
No doubt. So this podcast is called the Entrepreneur Blueprint. And what we're doing, we're trying to give some actionable advice to aspiring entrepreneurs out there. But we want to start with your story.
Yeah.
We want to start with your story.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, where did you grow up, and how. Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, so, well, first of all, I appreciate you having me on also. Super excited to kind of give you guys some tips or anything that I can help with if anyone's trying to, be an entrepreneur in this business or whether it be working for yourself as an entrepreneur. But yeah, a little bit more about myself. I grew up in Mont Belvieu, Texas.
Okay.
So grew up over there. If anyone knows, it's more like country. So
that's over on the east side of town, by Baytown.
By Baytown, exactly.
Okay.
Born in Baytown, but raised in the Mont Belvieu area. So I loved it over there. People are always like, man, Marcy, you're a little bit of everything because you know Spanish, but then you know how to listen to like Texas country. I'm like, yeah, I'm a little bit of everything, So I love it. It definitely shaped who I am today. But even when I was growing up, I saw my dad flipping some houses and saw the process of, what does it look like to invest in a good property? There's a lot that goes into it, And so getting to kind of learn that at a young age was something that kind of intrigued me. And I went to school. I got my bachelor's in business management. So I always knew I wanted to do something in business.
Really?
I just didn't know what it was.
Okay.
I was always like, man, I could see myself doing this because I worked in the restaurant industry through college.
Sure.
Like, maybe it's something like with this, or maybe it's something like this. So even since I was young, I was like, maybe real estate could be something, but I was like, I know I need to go to college just in case of backup plan, right?
Okay.
I was like, so I went to college.
What school did you go to?
I went to U of H Clear Lake.
Okay. Shout out to U of H.
Yeah, right. So loved it, did all that, but then after, I kind of was just didn't know what I wanted to do. I did like some jobs. I was some jobs for like a year. And then I was in HEB for a while. So I'll still shop at HEB, love HEB.
Yeah.
And I was a curbside manager over there.
Okay.
And so for a while, and kind of the pandemic hit, things got very, very crazy. I learned a lot. I had a team of like 60 people. So
wow.
I think that definitely helps me a lot too with being able to have, clients in all like 5 different clients at once. It's definitely a lot, but you learn how to, everyone likes to be praised different. Everyone likes to, have a conversation different way. So it's about I got to know a lot through that process.
Gotcha.
But going forward, I kind of was like, man, I think I need to do something else. So I got a full-time job, and I was working, the standard 9-to-5 desk job. Was doing a full-time job too at HEB, but got a desk job. And at that time I was like, you know what? I'm working Monday through Friday. If I'm off on the weekends, like I'm going to start doing my real estate license, like on the weekends when I got off of work. So I started to do that, and then passed the test. And kind of from there, it was just like the grind is on.
Really?
The grind is on. So every single weekend, I literally would be doing 4 open houses. I was reaching out to my sphere, my people, and it was literally every single weekend I was doing 4 open houses. Because I kind of watched a podcast like you're doing, and someone said, listen, if you have a full-time job, I understand that you can't get, make these phone calls during the day, but what if you can have that one-on-one opportunity in front of people at open houses? Like, you're bound to get a yes. You can get, they always say, like, you can get 10 no's, but there has to be one yes in that.
Wow.
So that's how I started, and I started to see the momentum kind of going from there.
What year was this?
This is so I've been in the business now for 3 years. So this was 3 years ago. So what is that, 2022?
Wow.
Around that time, 2022. So yeah, I went like hard, and I'm not kidding you. I was tired, like, cause I was working a full-time job, showing houses sometimes in the afternoon, and then doing 4 open houses. So and then of course I'm a big family person. So I was of course trying to see my family.
Sure.
But I was like, look, if I want to get out of being in the standard, 9 to 5, I know I can do it. Like, let me put my all and see if this is possible. And it was. Literally a year later, I was able to quit, do full-time real estate, and literally recently made my salary of what I was doing at that job in 2 months. So
this is amazing. Hang on. Let's dig into this a little bit. So when you were thinking about transition, side hustle, you mentioned real estate came into your thought process, and you ended up getting your license. What were some of the influences that kind of steered you in that direction? I mean, there's a lot of different things that you could have done.
Yeah.
What were your influences?
So I know that I kind of talked to you earlier about, like, being in a young age, seeing my dad kind of do this process. And then I had seen some people from high school that I graduated with, and I'm like, they're a realtor? I was like, if they're a realtor, I'm like, I'm a really, like, empathetic person. I was like, I know I could be amazing at this. I was like, 'cause I really care about people, and I want them to, like, see them achieve their goals. 'Cause that's one of the biggest, like, goals, is owning a house and building that generational wealth. So I was like, you know what? And I get to hang out with people and help them. Like, what more could I ask for? Because that's, like, literally what I love,
Yes.
And also the negotiating part. It's, like, one of the funnest things too, So all those things, I was like, I can do this. I can do this. So I kind of just put my head down, and I saw the potential, and I was like, I got that first feel of helping that first client, and I was like, I'm ready to do this. Like, This is it. This is what I was meant for.
And you do an amazing job at it. One of the things that I always have admired about how you conduct your business is, I mean, how devoted you are to your clients. And I mean, you just operate with excellence. And that's one thing that I've just always admired about that. So you mentioned the open houses.
Yeah.
When you first started. So some people are thinking, well, okay, I get a real estate license, and then what? Can you talk a little more about the open houses? Because that sounds like that's grinding.
Yeah. So just like the way I did my research, and you see all these agents talking about all the good. But once you get there, it's like, there's no leads. Like, oh, my family doesn't need a house right now. Like, oh shoot, what am I gonna do? So I think that's where people, like, kind of get discouraged. It's like, no, you're literally building a business from the ground up. And they always say the best businesses are the ones that have the best foundation. So I kind of talked to my coaches at the time in real estate, and they were just like, look, you have these options. There's social media, there's this. They're like, but as a starting agent, open houses are the way to go. You get repetition. You get to learn how to talk to people. You get to talk about a house and sell them on a house. Like, can you actually do this? And I think doing that, the amount of reps I got, like, and I kid you not, it was not easy, y'all. We're in Houston. It's hot. I'm out there going early in the morning, putting signs out, picking signs back up, putting them in my car, going to the next house, putting signs out, doing the open house, coming back, putting them back in my car, and then getting ready to do it all over again.
Wow.
But it's all about where you want to be. And I think if you're hungry enough, and if you want to build a great clientele and show people that you genuinely care, it's there. It's there for you. It's not easy, but it's there for you.
That's amazing. There's so much that you said there that's amazing. One thing that you just talked about was coaching.
Yeah.
Which, can you expand on that a little more? I mean, is that something that you recommend for people starting out? I love the idea of coaching. I myself receive coaching.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, to aspiring entrepreneurs, people that are starting out, the value.
Of course. Anything that you do in any business, you have to invest in your business and invest in yourself.
Wow. Can you say that again? Yeah. You have to invest
in your business and invest in yourself. 1000%. This is going to take some money, but these coaches are so valuable because you can talk to them about what exactly you want and your goals, and they can tell you, hey, here's a game plan that I've seen work before with a previous realtor or a previous business. You should try this, and here are the steps that you can take. And they can also give you pointers on, hey, I understand that you did that, but maybe you should tweak it like this next time you talk to a potential client. Hey, I appreciate you for that feedback. And you got to be able to accept feedback, because that's the biggest thing.
Wow.
Accepting feedback is, don't take it as, they're being blah, blah, blah. No, they're trying to help you. So I think coaching is, like I said, invest in your business and invest in yourself.
I agree with you 100%. And because I see there's a lot of content out there on YouTube and whatnot, but sometimes you gotta invest in yourself. Like you said, everything's not available for free on YouTube. And so I think that's a big deal that you mentioned that about investing in yourself. And all of these things, this is all actionable advice that we want to communicate to people. I mean, so far, you're talking about, as a new agent, doing open houses, getting coaching, hustle, work ethic. There's already a whole lot right there. So can we talk about the challenges for a minute? Because there's a lot on social media, vacations and, nice lunches and pedicures and whatever.
That's right. That's mainly what everyone posts. Good stuff, right?
What kind of challenges do you face in the real estate business, being a successful real estate professional, and how do you address some of those challenges?
Of course. So it's not all glitz and glamour. I will say that. I've kind of talked about doing open houses. You're sweating. You're putting hard work in. People don't see the other challenges that come with negotiating on a deal that falls through. That you've spent all this time. You spent hours away from family, away from friends, showing houses, and then sometimes it just doesn't work out. Those are challenges, or things don't get all the way to the finish line, and it's a challenge because you want to see your clients, succeed, but sometimes there's different little loops or hoops that come with, like, the lending part or mortgage stuff that you're like. So I think that's a big challenge, and I always tell people, if you're going to be in a business, whatever it is, save for a rainy day, because there could be some months where you're like, ooh, it's already a month and I haven't had a closing. That's like something scary. But like more at the beginning of my business, it was like, ooh, okay, now I understand. Like, at first you see that check and you're like, oh, what can I buy with this? No.
Yeah.
You learn real quick. It goes by fast. And you gotta save and have a plan. Also, like, when you have coaches, you got to invest in having a CPA. You need to invest in those type of things, because I learned from year one, I was like, I got a little too happy, and then now it's more of, hey,
that's a big deal.
It's a big thing. It's a big thing.
What I hear you talking about is the importance of team building.
Yeah.
I hear you talking about your coach, your CPA, and so can you talk a little bit more about that? On your journey, because you've come a long way in a short amount of time, but I know you value the team that you put together. Can you talk about the value of that?
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest things to me. I think if you have a solid team, you just have all these people that kind of come to play and help you out in your business too. Like even with you, like from the beginning, I always you're the first person I recommend to my clients because I know you guys are reliable. I can have you guys in probably the next day, and if I have any questions, I literally tell my clients, I'm like, I can call him personally.
That's right.
And he'll answer and he'll
right.
help me out with something I don't understand on the report.
Yeah.
But from inspections, from going into, kind of how we talked about CPA, I have a team. And, a part of that team, too, I always say is like my family, my friends.
Wow.
Because you need people sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes you have a bad day in your work, but it's like nice to have those people to rely on also. So, in kind of like I talked about, having a great foundation is like having a great team.
Wow.
So, that's one of the biggest things I tell people. Is
Yes.
establish that early on. It's good to have.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that. So I know you're very successful in real estate, but I know you don't do real estate all the time. What does Marcy like to do for fun or balance or
Yeah.
what? I know you hustle a lot.
Yeah,
So.
most definitely. I know I've said this a lot of times, but I really am a big family person. I love to be with my family.
Yeah.
My dad, my mom, my cousins, everyone is just that's what's fun to me. But then I love sports. You invite me to any type of sporting game, I'm there. I've had people last minute be like, want to come? And I'm like, let's go. So
There you go.
that's something I appreciate. And then I do love vacationing, but
Yes.
work
Yes,
hard,
yes.
play hard. I'll say that.
There you go.
I enjoy hiking and just exploring new cities, meeting new people.
Nice.
That's something that really
Nice.
And of course, we need that break, from because people don't realize this too. I am working 24/7.
Yeah.
No matter what. It's whether it be negotiating a deal late at night, in the morning, have a client, hey, what's going, this is that, inspections maybe at 8 a.m. and the builder hasn't opened up a door.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's over here calling, so.
Yeah, the funny thing is we're doing an inspection for you today.
They're literally doing an inspection today on a property in East Downtown. It's multifamily, so house in the front, house in the back. So it's pretty cool. I'm excited. My client's excited.
There you go. So one of the questions that I like to ask people along your journey, were there any books or podcasts that you read or anything that that you would recommend to people that, kind of influenced you or anything?
Yeah. So I really enjoyed reading, I'm sure you guys have seen the show. I always kind of watched it growing up and admired these people. The $1 Million Listings.
Yes.
There was one in New York and there was one in LA.
Yes.
And Josh Arben
Yep.
in LA, he has a series of books.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed them because it kind of related to kind of the way I am and the way we structure, everyone's different on the way they are. So I definitely took a lot from him. I read all of his books, and then I also read Ryan Sherhan's, all his books and his podcasts too.
Okay.
So it definitely taught me a lot because he has a lot of agents too that just literally moved to New York in a new city, and where do you start from there? At least us, me in Houston, I grew up in Houston. I at least have some people, hey, Marcy, she's starting her real estate license. Of course, that's very helpful, but starting in a new city where you don't know anyone, he has a lot of those people that he's helped grow. And I was like, man, I appreciate that. That's a leader that you kind of want to follow or read up on. So those were the two main people that I definitely I read all their books, and they have a good amount.
Okay. Well, cool. And I think that reading and educating ourselves is the way to go. The way to go. Marcy, how can people get in contact with you if they wanna buy some real estate, sell some real estate? How can people get in contact with you? Yeah,
so I am on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Marcy Houston Realtor is the at. I guess
we'll put your info in the link.
Awesome.
We'll put that in the link.
Put that in the link. But feel free to call me. Even if you just want to chat about the day, I'm down. Or talk about the shows, I'm down.
There you go.
So you can reach me at any platform or my number also. So I appreciate you having me on today. It was fun. I hope you guys got a lot of great information.
Marcy, you gave a lot of good information, and I hope you guys really, really pay attention to everything that she said. You've come a long way in a short amount of time, and you've taken no shortcuts. And I'm grateful to have been along on the journey with you. So proud of you. And I have the highest respect for you.
I appreciate you. Hey, his business too. Don't forget about it. They're amazing.
Don't forget about us. We are here on the Entrepreneur Blueprint. We're going to wrap it up with that today. We got Marcy here, Brian Smith. We'll see you guys on the next episode of the Entrepreneur Blueprint. See you next time.